Ever wonder why, when you're punching shapes that have repetitive corners, you land up with white spots showing? In today's Oxford Moment, we're going to take a look at why this occurs and some ways to prevent them and to fix them. Here we have an example of a square that has been punched with little white spaces showing. You can see them all along this corner here, and then we have the odd one dotted around other places as well. The first thing we want to do is check to see if the row spacing was done correctly. If we take our stitch gauge and set it on, we can then count our rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we know that the row spacing is correct. That is the row spacing we want to have anytime we're punching with a rug weight or heavyweight yarn. And that is all correct in here. We also have a good stitch spacing happening. We have our 6 stitches per inch on our outer row, and then they get a little longer as we move in. It can be tricky on a square to get that spot on because we're adjusting for the corners occurring over and over again as we move in, but overall that stitch spacing is looking really good. So let's take a look at what is causing these white spots to occur. We are going to start punching. We're punching our line, and then we're going to turn our corner, making a nice crisp corner there. Then we're punching our second row, stacking that row of stitches just like little row of bricks. And then you'll notice that as we do that, those bricks are filling in the space between the rows. We have no white showing. Then, as we turn the corner again, that yarn is pinched and it's going to cause this white spot to show up. And we have a bigger distance between that corner because it's not like a side-by-side row. And that's what's causing that white to appear. Now, as we do subsequent rows, you can see that white spot keeps repeating itself and it keeps showing up every time we turn that corner. I'm punching this square and I've gone around my outer row and I have another inner row, and I'm continuing to make my way around it as I fill it in. To help avoid having those white corners, I'm going to follow along nice and straight. And then as I get to my corner, I'm going to cheat a little bit and make that last stitch nice and deep and into the corner before I turn to resume punching down this next line. Now, as I come out of the corner, I want to make sure that I'm in the right track, that I'm going to punch a straight line along here. And I don't want to be crammed in. We still want to maintain that 7 rows per inch stitching. Here's the next spot. I'm going to cheat a little bit, come nice and deep. Then I'm going to turn my punch needle, and I'm going to then come back out and punch along this next line. As we do this, getting it tucked in deep is going to create these crisp corners that avoid those white little spots showing. We also want to be careful that we're not accidentally starting to create an oval shape as we punch around and around. And doing this little trick will help to avoid that as well. Here we have the fully punched square, and you can see that the corners are all nice and deep and crisp still. So we've got nice sharp turns, but there are no white spots showing. Everything is nestled in nice and tightly next to one another. And we still have 7 rows per inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is all correct in there. Let's take a look at another way to fix this. We can quite simply take our scissors and plump up the stitches on the working side and encourage them to fill in those gaps. We're going to do this carefully. We don't want to yank on these stitches and accidentally pull them out, nor do we want to pull on them so much that we are changing the loop height on the other side. But we can get away with a little bit of fluffing to adjust and help to fill in those gaps. I hope you found today's tips helpful. To learn more, please visit the Oxford Rug Cooking School website to check out our online courses or to find an Oxford Certified Instructor near you. Also, to stay in the loop, sign up for our newsletter. Thanks so much and happy punching!